Okay, good morning students. Today we are going to see fertilization. What is fertilization? Here the male and female gametes are joined together to form fertilization. That is the process is called fertilization. Fusion of male and female gamete. Here double fertilization also occur in angiosperm plants. What do you mean by angiosperm plants? The open flower plants or seeded plants are nothing but angiosperm plants. The next heading is events of fertilization. What are the events mostly occur in a fertilization? The stages involved in double fertilizations are germination of pollen to form pollen tube in the stigma, growth of pollen tube in the style, direction of pollen tube towards the micropyle of the ovule, entry of the pollen tube into the one of the synergies of embryo sac, discharge of male gametes, syngamy and triple fusion. The events from pollen dispersion on the stigma to entry of pollen tube into the ovule is called pollen pistil interaction. There is another one. There is an event. The events from pollen deposition on the stigma to the entry of pollen tube into the ovule is called pollen pistil interaction. What do you mean by pollen pistil interaction? It is a dynamic process which involves a recognition of pollen and to promote or inhibit its germination and growth. Okay, pollen on the stigma. Here in nature, the variety of pollens fall on a respective stigma, but all of them do not germinate but bring out fertilization. The receptive surface of the stigma receives only some of the pollens. If the pollen is incompatible with the stigma, it germinates, otherwise it will not germinate. It is facilitated by the stigmatic fluid, it wet stigma and pellicle in dry stigma fluid. These two also decided the incompatibility or compatibility of pollen through rejection projection protein reaction is there. Rejection protein reaction between the pollen and stigma surface. Sexual compatibility may be exist between different species, interspecific or intraspecific, between members of same species, inter and intraspecific. The latter is called self-incompatibility. The first viable change in the pollen, soon after it lands on stigma, is hydration. The pollen proteins are released from the surface. During the germination of pollen, its entire content moves into the pollen tube. The growth is restricted to the tip of the tube and all the cytoplasmic contents move to the tip region. The remaining part of the pollen tube is occupied by the vacuole, which is cut off from the type of a callus plug. Mostly the extreme tip of the pollen tube appears hemispherical and transparent when viewed through the microscope. This is called cap block. As soon as the cap block disappears, the growth of the pollen tube stops only. Okay, the next one is pollen tube in the style, in a gynoecium style. After the germination, the pollen tube enters into the style from the stigma. The growth of the pollen tube in the style depends on the type of style. There are mostly three types of style it will present. First one is hollow or open style, solid style or otherwise closed style, or semi-solid or half-closed style. First one, hollow style, open style. It is common most among the monocots. A hollow canal running from the stigma of the base of the style is present. The canal is lined by a single layer of glandular canal cells, transmitted tissue. They secrete mucilaginous substances. The pollen tube grows on the surface of cells lining the style or canal. The canal is filled with the secretions which serve as nutrition for growing pollen tubes and also controlling incompatibility reaction between the style and pollen tube. The secretion contain carbohydrates, lipids and some enzymes like esterase, acid phosphatase as well as compatibility controlling proteins. Okay, the next one is solid style, closed style. It is a common among the dicots. It is characteristic by the presence of central core of elongated, highly specialized cells called transmitting tissue. It is equivalent to the lining cells of the hollow style and does not same function. Its contents are also similar to the content of these cells. The pollen tube grows through the intercellular spaces of the transmitting tissue. The next one is semi-solid or half-closed type. It is immediate between solid type and open type. There is a difference between the opening and the nature of transmitted tissue. Some authors mostly consider that is found only in solid styles, while others consider the lining cells of hollow style also has transmitted tissues also there. Okay, next another important question is entry of pollen tube into the ovule. Entry of pollen tube into the ovule. There are three types of entry of pollen tube into the ovule. First one is porogamy, then chalazogamy. Porogamy, chalazogamy and mesogamy. What do you mean by porogamy? Here the pollen tube enters into the micropylar end, that is called porogamy. You can see the diagram. Pollen tube, porogamy is there. The pollen tube only enter into the micropylar end. Chalazogamy, nothing but the pollen tubes are enter into the chalazal via through the micropyle end. Then mesogamy, the pollen tube is enter into the integument through the micropyle, that is called mesogamy. Okay, chalazogamy, when the pollen tube enters through the chalaza. Mesogamy, when the pollen tube enters through the integuments only. Okay, these are the entry of pollen tube. Okay, entry of pollen tube into the embryo sac. In which way the pollen tube is enter into this embryo sac. Irrespective of the place of entry of pollen tube into the ovule, it enters the embryo sac at the micropylar end. The pollen enters into the embryo sac directly into the one of the synergids. The growth of pollen tube towards the ovule and embryo sac is due to the presence of hemotropic substances. Filiform apparatus is thus that the filiform apparatus, it will secrete some of the chemical substances. Through this one, the pollen tubes are entered. The pollen tube, after traveling the whole length of the style, enters into the ovary locule, where it is guided towards the micropylar of ovule by the structure called obturator. After reaching the embryo sac, a pore is formed in pollen tube wall, and it is apex or just behind the apex region. The content of the pollen tube, two male gametes, vegetative nucleus and cytoplasm are discharged into the synergids into which pollen tube enters. The pollen tube does not grow beyond it in the embryo sac. The tube nucleus disorganizes. The next one is double fertilization and triple fusion. What do you mean by double fertilization? There are two types of fertilization. It will occur in that embryo sac. And what do you mean by triple fusion? There are three nucleus are involved in this fertilization. That is the process called triple fusion. Navasin, S.G. Navasin, L. Guygard, 1898 or 1909 observed the Lilium and Fritillaria. Both male gametes released from the male gametophyte are involved in the fertilization. The fertilize two different components of embryo sac. Since both the male gametes are involved in fertilization, the phenomenon is called double fertilization and is unique to angiosperm. One of the male gametes fuses with the egg's nucleus, syngamy, to form zygote. The second gamete migrates to the central cell where it is fuses with the polar nuclei or other fusion product, the secondary nucleus, and forms the primary endosperm nucleus. The secondary nucleus, the polar nuclei are their fusion product, the secondary nucleus, and forms the primary endosperm nucleus, that is a PEN. Since this involves the fusion of three nuclei, the phenomenon is called a triple fusion. This act results in endosperm formation, which forms a nutritive tissue for the embryo. There is a diagrammatic representation of pollen grain ovules joined together. Here there is two male gametes are there. Here there is a embryo sac egg and polar nucleus are there. Here one male gametes is joined with this zygote, and another male gamete is joined with this another polar nucleus, 2a number of chromosomes joined together to form endosperm. Here the zygotes are formed, the embryos are formed. Here fertilization occur in angiosperm plants, seeds only formed. Then next one, post fertilization structure and events. What are the after fertilization? What are the changes it will occur in a flower? After fertilization, several changes takes place in the flower parts up to formation of the seed. The events after fertilization: endosperm, embryo development, formation of seeds, fruits are called post-fertilization changes. First one, parts before fertilization and transformation after fertilization. Sepals, petals, stamens, style and stigma usually wither and fall off. Ovary, fruits, ovule, seed, egg, zygote, funicule, stalk of the seed. Micropyle of the seed facilitates oxygen and water uptake. Nucellus perisperm. Outer integument of ovule, testa. Inner integument, tegmen. Synergy cells disintegrates. And secondary nucleus, endosperm. Antipodal cells disintegrate. Endosperm. The primary endosperm nucleus divides immediately after fertilization. The primary endosperm nucleus divides immediately after fertilization, but before the zygote starts to divide to form the endosperm. The primary endosperm nucleus is the result of triple fusion, 2 polar nuclei and 1 sperm nucleus, and thus has 3n number of chromosomes it will present. It is a nutritive tissue and a regulatory structure that nourishes the developing embryo. Okay. Depending upon the mode of development, 3 types of endosperms are recognized in angiosperm. There are nuclear endosperm, cellular endosperm, and holobial endosperm. First one, nuclear endosperm. Primary endosperm nucleus undergoes several mitotic division without cell wall formation. Thus, a free nuclear condition exists in the endosperm. There is no cell wall formation. Thus, a free nuclear condition exists in the endosperm. Examples: Coccinia, Capsella, Arachis. Then cellular endosperm. Primary endosperm nucleus divides mitotically into 2 nuclei and it is immediately followed by wall formation. Subsequent division also follow. Cell wall formation is there. Example: Ataxia, Helianthus and Scoparia. Then holobial endosperm. Primary endosperm nucleus move from towards base of embryocyte and divides into 2 nuclei. Cell wall formation also occur leading to the formation of large micropylar and small cell chamber. The nucleus of the micropylar chamber undergoes several free nuclear division, whereas the cell chamber may or may not divide. Example: Hydrilla and Wallisneria. Then these are the main 3 examples, main 3 types of endosperm. The next one is the endosperms may either be completely composed by the developing embryo or it may be persist in the mature seeds. Those seeds without endosperms are called non-endospermous or ex-albuminous seeds. These examples are pea, groundnut and beans. These seeds with endosperms are called endospermous or albuminous seeds. The endosperms in these seeds supply nutrition to the embryo during seed germination. Example: paddy, coconut and castor. Ruminant endosperm. The endosperm with irregularity and unevenness in its surface form ruminant endosperm. Example: Aricia cachu, Passiflora meritocea. Functions of endosperm. It is a nutritive tissue of the developing embryo. The majority of angiosperm, the zygote divides only after the development of endosperm. Endosperm regulates the precise mode of embryo development. Okay, up to this one you have to complete. Okay, thank you students. Thank you one and all. Next class we will see next topic. Okay, you have to read very carefully.